Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Shamir, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for joining me again today. So you guys, if you are new here, then you may not know I just recently came back from a trip to Las Vegas. At this point, when you're watching this video, it's only been a week, okay? But I really thought that there were 5 Las Vegas travel tips that you needed to know, okay? I've been to Las Vegas multiple times, but it's been a few years since the last time I went to Las Vegas. So some things were just not on my radar anymore, and I wanted to go ahead and share some tips with you so that you aren't surprised, like me, by some of these things when they come up if you're going to be traveling to Las Vegas. Now, I made some notes, okay? So if you see me look down, that's because I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget anything. All right, so first up, okay, number 1. Know your airline and their rules, okay? So since we were gonna have kids come on this trip, I was like, okay, you know what? I don't want to deal with any layovers or anything like that. I just want straight flights, okay? Fly me straight there, and when it's time to come home, fly us straight back, okay? Because look, if you've traveled with kids before, you know things can get a little sketchy if you have to have a layover and wait, and then people get tired and hungry and just all types of things going on, okay? So to keep everybody in a good mood, I thought it'd be best to go straight flights both ways. So with that being said, I found a straight flight, which was through Frontier Airlines. Now, I must say, before I say anything else, the flight was fine. The crew, like the flight attendants and stuff, were fine. Pilot, everything. Okay, we flew there safely. It got back safely, so I appreciate that. Okay, but you guys, one thing you need to know is, if you've never flown Frontier before, I'm here to tell you there's a difference between your personal item, your check bag, and your carry-on. Now, of course, you guys usually, I'm pretty sure you know that there's a difference. However, the thing is most airlines seem to, especially in my experience, seem to let you have a free carry-on item, okay? Frontier does not give you a free carry-on item. Frontier only gives you one free personal item, okay? So if you're used to having your cute little luggage that's, you know, just carry-on size, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm bringing for free, not on Frontier, you're not, okay? Personal item. So the tip is bring a book sack for your personal item. Now, there are specifications as far as height and width for the book sack. If I can remember, I'll try to put them on the screen. If not, then I'll type them in the description box, so make sure you check that out. But you guys, I was like, okay, you know what? Since we can't have a free carry-on, everybody is having a book sack, okay? So I made sure that the clothes that we put in the book sack were like stuff. I folded them down good enough to where if you had to press it and squeeze it to stuff it in that little thing where they check to see if it's the right size, it's able to do that. Now, some of you may be like, hey, well, what if I want to carry a purse? You know, make sure you bring you a purse that's small enough to fit inside that book sack, okay? And easy too. So what I did was took myself out of the purse, folded it down, stuffed it in the book sack, and that's what I had as far as my free personal item, okay? Another thing is, with Frontier, your checked bag is gonna be, once again, I'll put the correct numbers down below, but I think it was like 60 bucks. So let's just say 50 to 60 bucks, okay? And that's for both ways. So you're gonna have to pay that for your departing and returning, okay? Keep that in mind, because they kept telling people in line it's higher if you do it at the airport and not just do it online. So a lot of people had to step out of the line and pay for their bags, then get back in line. And a lot of people were honestly confused about the whole personal item versus check bag and having to pay a fee. So there were multiple people who were opening their check bags and their carry-ons and trying to figure out, like, hey, what can I stuff from this bag to that bag? It was so much commotion behind the bags. And let me tell you, when you're at the airport, they don't have time, okay? They're going to tell you what it is and send you right to the side. They're going to be like, okay, no, you can't transfer items right here. You're going to have to get back in line. Like, get out of line, do what you need to do, and then get back in line, okay? So please keep that in mind. Now, another thing that goes along with knowing your airline's rules, you guys, Frontier, you have to pay if you want to pick your seat. Now look, if it was just a group of adults or something like that, I'd probably be like, you know what, save your coins and just get whatever seat they assign you. But like I said, with kids traveling with us, there was no time for one kid to be way in the back of the plane, one to be in the middle, we to be like who knows where in the plane. We had to all sit together. So I had to pay the additional money so that we could all pick the seats, okay? So just keep that in mind, because a lot of the times you'll see the price for the flight and think, hey, this is a good deal. And then by the time you add the price for that check bag, the price for your carry-on, or if you do a carry-on instead, the price for the seats and all that, it's gonna run you up, okay? And honestly, on their flights, they had snacks that you could pay for, but not even like some free cookies and a drink, okay? I'm just saying, you know, Delta will give you a free snack at least. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to be traveling, know the rules for your airline so that you don't have any surprises when you get to the airport, okay? Next up, on to number 2. You guys, it had been a while, like I said. Please know your hotel's resort fees, okay? And I'm saying this because when I was booking stuff for the hotel, I remember reading this, okay? But after the fact, okay? I remember reading that, okay, my card was going to be charged a certain amount and then a certain amount was going to be due at the hotel, okay? But mind you, when I got to the hotel, we're all hype and we're like, okay, yeah, we made it. We're in Vegas. I'm vlogging. Everybody's feeling good. You get checked in, right? That fee does not come up until it's time to check out. Okay? So by the time, like, you done had all your fun and you like, dang, it's time to go home. Let's go. They're going to hit you with that bill that has your resort fees and anything else that you charge to that room. Okay? So keep in mind, please pay attention to how much the resort fees are, because they are per day, okay? So we stayed at Park MGM, and I believe it was like $39 per night for the resort fees, okay? And mind you, if you book more than one room, then you're going to see the resort fees for each room for each night, okay? That's going to pop up there, okay? Now, the third tip, you guys, keep in mind that you have to pay for parking, okay? This kind of goes along with the hotel thing too, because you guys, I don't know what I was thinking. We decided to get a rental car once we got to Vegas, and I wasn't thinking about the fact that the hotel charged $18 per day for parking. And honestly, I didn't pay for that up front. So it wasn't until I was trying to leave out one time that they were like, oh, you're gonna have to pay or something. The conversation went somewhere about paying, and then when I went to the front desk at the hotel, they were like, oh yeah, it's not added on here, we can add it on to you, to your room, for $18 per night, because that's gonna be cheaper than you just paying to park every time you like leave in and out. Which then brings me to, it's still in this same tip, think about parking. You guys, if you're like us and you rent a car, you're going to want to go places in your car. So there were times that we did walk parts of the strip, but the Las Vegas strip is very long to say, like, especially when you have kids with you. Like, you know, as adults, we can kind of navigate it. Kids, before you know it, everybody's tired of walking. It's hot. I'm tired. You know the deal. So it got to the point to where we were like, okay, we wanted to go shopping at, the Forum Shops at Caesar's Palace. So we were like, okay, from Park MGM, let's not walk all the way there, because that's going to be a lot on the kids. Although that day before, we had walked pretty much almost there. Yeah, we were at Caesar's Palace. We just weren't at the little shopping part, which was literally like right next door to it. So we did it, but it was too much from the day before to where I was like, okay, let's drive. You guys, you have to pay for parking if you go to some of these other shops, hotels, anything like that on the strip, okay? So then it turns out it was like, okay, do we want to pay $30 extra to park in the parking garage that's over there, or what do we do? Now, what we did was, both my husband and myself had a Uber credit for our cards or whatever that you can use monthly that I haven't even been using. So I was like, okay, let's get the Uber. I'll do one way on mine, you do one way on yours, and then, hey, it's free. So keep that in mind. If you have a perk like that on your credit card, definitely use it. But if not, we would have had to pay for parking there. Which then brings me to, though, whenever we went to do other stuff, like we went to the comedy show, we went to see Luenell, we had to park. We were by, was it the Link, I believe, or something, over there, and like where Harris Casino and all that other stuff, that parking garage. Okay, I'll save that for another day. But anyway, we had to pay to park there. So keep that in mind. If you have a car, you're going to have to pay to park somewhere because most of the parking lots just aren't free. Okay, so keep that in mind and for your budget. Okay, the fourth thing is book as many things as you can as far out in advance as you can. Okay, because we knew some things that we had in mind that we really wanted to do. Of course, I knew that the kids were going to want to go to like the Adventure Dome and stuff like that, but they wanted to go to the Omega Mart. Well, we all wanted to go, actually. We were all interested. It wasn't just like a kids thing. But when we got there, you guys, literally, if I hadn't been running my mouth and vlogging, we probably would have got inside in time. Shh, don't tell them that. But we would have got inside in time because they had just finished selling the tickets for the, I believe it was sometime around like 11 o'clock entry into the Omega Mart. By the time we got in line, which wasn't even that long, and got up to the thing to buy tickets, he was like, sorry, we're all sold out until the like 4:30 or 4:40 time slot. So you guys, I was just like, oh my gosh, like they've been waiting. We came here. Now we can't even get in, like get into the Omega Mart. But luckily, the area where that is actually located is like free entry into that building. What is it? Area 15 or 51, something like that. I'll put it on the screen. But they have other things that you can do in there as well. So be sure to check out my blog if you haven't, because then you'll get to see what else is in there and some of the other things that we got to do. So make sure you check that out. But yes, book stuff in advance. Okay, because honestly, we really wanted to see that, and I hated that we had to miss out. Another reason why I would book some stuff in advance is I was able to book the comedy show the same day, but you guys, I did not take into consideration the fact that for some reason the map was telling us to walk and go around like the longest route to get into the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club. Why it did that, I don't know. Because literally once we left out, it was as simple as we could have came down one side of the parking garage and made like a right turn and been like 2 steps from where we had to go. We put it in like walking directions, and it made us go inside the hotels, all the way back out on the strip, all the way back down the road and back around. So you guys, half of the show was over before we even got there. Like, can you imagine how embarrassed I was like walking into the comedy show like this in the middle of the comedy show? Okay, and it was like a sit down little intimate type of situation. Yeah, so book stuff in advance so that you can at least have an idea of where you have to go. You can kind of map out how to get there, and if you book stuff in advance, you can watch other people's videos like this one, giving you tips on what you need to know and what you need to do for when you're actually going out. Okay, so yeah, that's a tip. Okay, the fifth and final tip that I have so far, let me know in the comments if you guys would like a part 2, because I definitely have plenty more tips. But the fifth one is, so if you have kids, anybody who travels to Vegas, one of the main things that there's going to be to do for kids is go to the Circus, okay? Because they have the Adventure Dome, okay? It's got arcade games, roller coasters, all kinds of fun. I enjoyed myself. I have so much fun. The Circus even has a circus show that goes on there. And now they have added some water slides and stuff to the pool area, okay? So my son had already heard about the fact that there was going to be like this water stuff going on at Circus Circus. So he couldn't wait to get back to Vegas because he was like, oh, when we finally go back, I'll be able to go there. You guys, once we got there, we then realized that the water slides and stuff and all of that is only for the hotel guests, okay? So you can still do Circus Circus and all of the other, not Circus Circus, you can still do the Adventure Dome and all of the other fun stuff. But if you want to use those water slides, you have to be a guest at the hotel. Now, what I will say is the Circus Circus usually has some pretty cheap rooms, okay? That you can get, especially if you book out in advance, like if you know like it's a couple months before you go, you can get a room for a very cheap price. And even adding the resort fee shouldn't run you too much. So my tip would be, if you know that you're going to want to make a day out of it for the kids, like if you have one designated day to do all kids stuff, just let them have a ball, which is what I would recommend, because I feel like if you go to Vegas with kids, you have to have one day to where they just can just get everything out of their system so that nobody's complaining, nobody feels any type of way when you do all of the, you know, more adult activities like shopping and stuff like that. So I would make a day out of it. So it would probably be better for you to go ahead and book a room in addition to your regular room. Just book a room at the Circus Circus so that you can have access all day and have access to those water slides and stuff, because it was hot, okay? It was like cooler in the mornings, but like midday, it was hot in Vegas. And of course, the kids got to swim at our hotel, but it wasn't the same as if they would have gotten to go on those water slides and stuff, okay? And then one good thing about the Circus Circus is if you get a pass for the Adventure Dome, it's an all-day pass, okay? So you can start off inside, have fun for hours, go outside, go to the pool, do the water slides, come back, change clothes, go into that Adventure Dome again. Like, if you really want to wear them out and let them have fun, you can do that at that Circus Circus. So maybe just consider getting a room for the day so that you can enjoy it. And then, hey, once you've spent the day there, it's also good for like restrooms and stuff like that, because at least you'll have your own separate room. And if they get tired, they need a break or anything like that, they'll have a room to be able to go up to and at least chill out. Now, I can't guarantee you it's going to be like the best room depending on which one you book, but there are lots of videos on YouTube that will give you the ins and outs for booking a room at the Circus Circus, because I know the very first time we went to Vegas, some of the people that were with us stayed at the Circus Circus, but I remember booking their rooms just based on the fact that I had watched a video and they said which tower to book in because it was like the newest one, the most updated one. So just do a little bit of research online and you can book like a decent room over there to spend the day. And then, hey, once you're done having fun for the day, then you can pack up all your stuff and go hang out at your hotel. So yes, keep that in mind. Honestly, you guys, I really feel like with all of these things being said, the main thing you really need to think about is if you've budgeted to go to Vegas and you're like, hey, I feel like I need to have this much money to spend or this much extra, I would probably double it, okay? Like if I was saying, hey, I want to have $500 to the side for this or $1,000 to the side for shopping, eating, all that good stuff, you guys, just tack on a couple dollars, because before you know it, like I said, by the time you pay for checked bags or by the time you pay for parking to go to multiple places, you're gonna be done spent up like a couple $100s that you weren't even really expecting to spend. But I don't want to make this video too long, so like I said, if you want some more tips, let me know in the comments down below. That way I can make another video for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy watching it. I hope these tips were helpful for you. And like I said, be sure to check out my Las Vegas travel vlog so that you can get more ideas of what we did and some things that you might want to do too to have yourself some fun. So with that being said, that's it for today's video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.